Good evening and salutations, my Days of Our Lives fans. This episode is disappointing. There really wasn't a lot to actually happen. I've been a fan of this show for a hot minute since I started watching it. And, GH have been watching since 2001. And I've had to start being a little more harsher on these shows as far as reviewing them because, GH especially because I've been watching that show for years. And, I gotta start being harsher with this show too. Specifically because when GH has been actually really bad, Days have actually been fire. There's been times I've been sitting there watching GH and I'm like, man, this is just terrible. Like, I can't wait to watch Days. I can't even believe I'm saying that, but that's where we are. So, episodes like this definitely does not put me in a good mood. Which is even sadder because yesterday's episode wasn't really that good. And yet it was somehow still better than GH. But yeah, I have to start being more harsh with these shows, and specifically this show, because this show has been doing great up until now. But I know that it's going to start to become fire again. Like, it's going to start to become, like, really good again. So I'm not really too worried about it as far as watching the show. Or doing reviews and stuff like that, because especially reviews like today. And yeah, we'll start off with, almost like doesn't even really matter. Well, Nicole got divorce papers from Bella, because Erica's just like, yo, let's just get this over with. Let's get it over with, let's get it done. And, I'm looking at Nicole like, come on, you had to see that coming. I mean, it was only a matter of time. So she dropped off her divorce papers, and EJ comes in there, and EJ has to talk with Nicole after Bella leaves, and I mean, he was just furious. I mean, he called her all sorts of names, like a whore and a slut, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, you do realize that you were married to this woman for a while, like, you loved this woman for a while, and even though you guys are not on the best terms, you got kids together, and you're still calling her all these names? Wow. He is one of the type of people, it's like, when he's great, when he loves you, you are on top of the moon. When you do something that he does not like, man, this guy will flip on you like that. So he starts calling her all these names, like, oh, he wants to thank Nicole for, opening up his eyes, and starts calling her all these names. And Nicole tries to start psychoanalyzing him, which is a bad idea, which, I mean, to be honest, it's never a good idea to psychoanalyze someone in general, especially after a breakup or somebody cheated on them. I mean, no one likes that on a daily basis, and he was not too happy about that. So, eventually he switched topics, and he started talking about Johnny, and EJ was like, I need your help to kind of get Johnny to, give up his foolish dreams of making an indie film. And, at first Nicole was like, are you trying to pimp me out to your son? And I'm like, where did that come from? I'm pretty sure he just asked you for his help and not, like, what? Anyway, she doesn't really seem like she wants to do it. So EJ's just like, oh, well, you know what, listen. At the end of the day, when you want something done right, you gotta do it yourself. That was pretty much about it. I felt like, as weird as that was, I felt like that was the best part of this episode, and everything else just kind of just went, like, I wouldn't sit there and say downhill, but it was just boring. Except for Claire, they're telling her parents that she's leaving, she's going to South Africa, and they fight her on it for a little bit because they don't want her to leave, but, they realize that it's a great opportunity, and, gotta let her go at some point. So, they do that. This is before she got a chance to make up with Sierra. So that was good. At least, they can part ways on really good terms. So they reunited, and, Sierra thanked her and apologized, so they're all good. I gotta really... In the future, I'm gonna have a better setup. Yeah, Ben that got, I guess, his wedding rings or whatever at his house. He goes to Marlena's place, and he tells him the good news. And at some point, Sierra gets there, and Ben proposes to her. And so, they're like, all right, we're gonna do this wedding right here, right now. At some point, they get Allie, to come over. Allie's pretty much kind of reuniting with Johnny, kind of catching up a bit. Talked about the whole Charlie thing, and EJ not being happy with Johnny apparently again. I'm pretty sure this is not the first time that EJ was disappointed in his son, but now it's about the whole movie thing. So they kind of talk about that for a little bit. And of course, when Allie asks Johnny about, who he's seeing, he's vague, and I'm just like, at some point, they're gonna have to actually do this, so I don't understand what the whole mystery thing is about, but whatever. But Sierra does call up Allie to sit there and ask for the phone, and she gets down there along with Claire, and Sean and Bella, and, they get ready for the wedding. Damn, it's like 7 minutes and I feel like this review is almost over. This is what I mean. Like, not really a lot happened. Which sucks. I know it's going to get better. They're going to do the whole Xander thing and the Gwen thing, and things are definitely going to sit there and pick up. And they really need to pick up because, man. Yeah, everyone's at the wedding or whatever. And, pretty much they get married. And it just ends with that. And I'm not gonna lie, I was partly sitting there thinking, when they were doing their vows, because at this point, Ben's like, alright, let's just get this over with. Let's just skip a lot of this stuff, let's just get right to the end, pretty much. And, Smith saying, do you take so-and-so, I think, do you take so-and-so? I'm sitting there thinking, because I'm looking at my phone at this point, because I'm just, like, bored to tears. And I'm sitting there thinking, man, wouldn't it be great if somebody just, like, rushed in the door and be like, no, I object, or something, But I knew they were going to do that. Because the last time they did that, they finally get married and stuff like that, like, 5 seconds in, there's a bombing at the church. So... yeah, I knew they probably wasn't going to do that, but I was like, man, I hope something happens. Like, something to kind of liven this thing up. I mean, listen, if you're into the coupling thing, and Sierra and Ben, that's great. That's definitely a nice little cute moment for you. But I was just so bored. It was nice. I mean, don't get me wrong, they got married, and that's great, but I felt like nothing really happened. Like, Johnny and Sierra, Johnny and Chanel got together, and Chanel was there telling Johnny about the her new business. That's her business, is whatever, as far as Sweet Bits. And Johnny says something I was just like, man. And Johnny was like, oh, do you mind if I have a bit of your Sweet Bits? And I was like, okay, alright. I mean, that joke can only really go one way, but I am actually happy that they did do that joke. So, as cringy as that was, I'm actually happy that they did it. You know, I know I'm missing something because it's only been like 10 minutes, but I can't think of anything else that was relevant that actually happened. Especially for a Friday. You know, Friday's supposed to be Cliffhanger Friday, and you know, this episode wasn't bad, it was just boring. Which sucked. But, I mean, it sucks that nothing really happened, but I know that stuff is going to probably happen, like, you know, down the road, like in a couple episodes. Especially with the whole Eli and Lonnie and Paulina and Olivia, you know, all that crap. And Xander and Gwen and, Xander, Gwen, Philip. Like, all the other stuff is going to be exciting. So, this is just a portion of this episode, I mean, that was just not really great. Except for the fact that Claire's leaving. And it's not like it's great, but again, I'd rather have a character that's just doing stuff than just being there for the sake of being there. Which is cool. Just double check something. I think that's pretty much about it. I think that's about it. If you enjoyed this episode, tell me why. Anything that I missed, please let me know. And with that being said, I'm going to go. I want to thank everyone for watching. Man, 11 minutes in. I want to thank everyone for watching. Be safe. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. I'll see you in the next video.